If you're wondering what you should have in your backpack, here are my tips to make your looting experience easier. When you land in Pubg, you will have a base capacity by default. It has the capacity of 70. To put that into perspective, it is the equivalent of 7 first aids or 140 5.56 bullets. To provide a more realistic scenario, that is the equivalent of 1 first aid, 30 over 60 bullets of 5.56, and 1 to 3 offensive utilities. Make sure to always equip one of those utilities to make sure it does not take space from the base capacity. Once you get a vest of any type, you get a top up of plus 50. And then depending on the backpack that you find, you get the bigger boost. A backpack 1 fits 150, a backpack 2 fits 200, and a backpack 3 fits 250. To conclude, I will keep a visual summary of the total capacity you can have, excluding all the equipped items like bullets, melee, and utilities. Now imagine yourself in a hot drop. You are helping your teammates, pushing some knocks, or defending your building. All you need is to be able to shoot back and heal yourself. Therefore, the previously mentioned scenario will be your go-to. 1 to 2 first aids, 1 to 2 offensive utilities, the heavier one should be equipped, and a total of 90 bullets. With this capacity and loot, you do not have to worry about having a backpack, since the majority of time you don't have too many things to loot in the early game. And these items will allow you to survive your first few fights. The only thing I would emphasize on is finding the meds, since meds will allow you to survive and be able to fight and loot the people that you kill. So in conclusion, for the early game, grab everything that can help you on the offensive, and do not worry about a backpack because you have enough capacity for survival. My final tip is to avoid stuffing your base capacity with bullet types that do not match the guns that you're holding, because this is a common mistake that I see frequently happening. Now that we have finished the hot drop, looting management starts to matter. So let's get into it. We are going to distinguish between players who love to stay outside the zone and those who move early. The main difference between the two is going to be the amount of boosts and bandages required to survive outside the zone, which will have a negative impact on carrying other resources. First, regarding the players who play inside the zone, we need to have at most 5 bandages. Bandages will come clutch in situations where you go below 75 HP, but it isn't worth it to use a first aid. 1 to 2 bandages and a full boost will do the job and save you the first aid. Now in terms of first aids and medkits, we want to aim for 1 medkit if possible and 3 to 4 first aids or 5 first aids in total. And we want to have their equivalent in boosts to take you up to 100 HP, which will be 10 energy drinks. Since patch 42.1, holding painkillers or syringes is now viable. An alternative solution would be 1 syringe, 2 painkillers and 3 energy drinks, the equivalent of 3 full boosts. So far, we are approximately at 5 bandages, 5 first aids, 10 energy drinks, which is 100 in capacity for meds, which is a nice sweet spot. Finally, for players who enjoy staying in the blue and may rotate in zone 3 to 4, we need to have 10 extra bandages and a couple of boosts. Therefore, the capacity is impacted by 20 to 30 points, which is almost 1 to 2 utilities, depending on which ones you pick. For example, 1 grenade or 1 smoke and 1 stun. However, since while driving you will be using all these bandages and boosts, you will have free space for extra loot for later. As an aggressive player who loves to play 5.56 weapons, my go-to is always 200 bullets or more outside my guns, which is the equivalent to 100 in capacity. I try to go with less bullets when going for 7.62 because many players will be carrying snipers or 7.62 weapons, therefore I can loot it easily. Similarly, when it comes to 9mm ammo, I really do not have to worry about the weight of those bullets or their availability, since they are the lightest bullets and since every noob is carrying them these days. If we consider that we are using 5.56 and 200 bullets outside our mags, we will be left with 120 to 170 capacity. Finally, to the utilities. We are going to start with smokes and then tackle the rest. Regarding smokes, it will depend a lot on whether you only camp compounds or play in the open, but the sweet spot is 3 to 5 smokes, including the ones from a smoke gun. Smokes are extremely important in the mid to end game since they can be used on the offensive and on the defensive to create smoke walls, blind your enemy, or help you revive safely. So do not skip them. Each smoke weighs 14, so having 5 smokes will be 70 in capacity. Therefore, we will be left with 50 to 100 capacity. Whether you have a backpack 2 or 3, the rest of your backpack should contain offensive utilities. I advise to pick anything that you find with bias towards what you can handle better. My go-to is to diversify as much as I can since based on the situations, some utilities are better suited than others. Keep in mind that blue zone mechanics are different than other throwables, they have a bouncier behavior, so make sure to master them before wasting them. In general, open spaces require grenades, houses are better attacked with molotovs and blue zones since they can spread, and stuns are better suited for confined areas or people stuck behind cover. Now that we have finally reached the end game, the backpack content will shift greatly towards utilities. We will undoubtedly need less bullets, so pick those grenades and become your enemy's worst threat zone. Even though bullet count will depend a lot on the situation, we are surely not going to use 200 bullets. My sweet spot is at most 100 bullets outside the magazines, which will free up 50 more capacity for utilities, which can be the equivalent of 2 grenades, 2 blue zones, or 3 to 4 molotovs, stuns, or smokes. In some rare situations, stacking a couple of first aid in the end game can sometimes help, since a healing standoff can end up being the only way to win the game, so again, 5 to 6 first aids could still be needed. I would avoid at all cost mixing 5.56 and 7.62 bullets, especially if it's between ARs and DMRs. For an AR and a sniper, this is still manageable, since you won't need more than 20 to 40 bullets for the sniper. Your role in the team dictates your loot. For example, if you are the medic, smokes and first aids should be your priority instead of offensive utilities. You may also be required to stack bullets of different types to provide to your teammates in addition to your main bullet type. I want to emphasize on learning how to use utilities. Otherwise, you would be carrying them for no reason. So please, practice your throws in the UGC and training mode. Finally, the most overpowered spot to stack items is in your car. The trunk can fit up to 250 in capacity for most cars, with the special porter in Tego that has the capacity of 400. So please use it for extra utilities, meds, bullets, or a vest and a helmet. Note, some cars do not have a trunk, like the Pico bus in Rondo and the minibus in Miramar. I would like to share the news that the channel became monetized a couple of days ago, and that wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for your contribution and continuous support, whether you are a subscriber or a regular visitor. I truly appreciate each one of you. To keep supporting me, please make sure to like and hype the videos so we can reach a bigger audience. Please make sure to post positive criticism in the comment section so I can know how I can improve my content, and also always share your opinions and ideas because mine can be distorted or wrong. Finally, if you're interested in the capacity inventory calculator, please make sure to join my Discord where I share daily tips and discuss the latest PUBG updates. I will be uploading the tool so that everyone can benefit from it. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one.